African entrepreneurs. Tonight I'll be speaking to us on a topic that I titled Who Am I? See, I want to start with a common quote that says, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And it's very important that a lot of entrepreneurs out there, all of us in business, know who we are. You know, we want to do business, we want to network with people, we want to partner, we want to collaborate. We're finding new investors, we are looking for just new people to do business with. We're looking for customers, we are looking for mentors, we are looking for, people in the right circle. Every day it's part of our journey, it's part of the things that we hunt for as entrepreneurs. But the thing is, a lot of us are going out there to find people, but we don't know what is in there. You see, the honest truth is that no one wants to meet a nobody. I don't know, but I think, if I remember, I think this cartoon or this animation was called Shark Tale. I saw that movie many years ago. I'm sure some of you have seen that movie by Will Smith and some good actors. Then it's a cartoon and it's just life about the sharks and stuff. And in Shark Tale, there was this saying that the lady told Will Smith. She said, because it's all in the fish and stuff, she said, no one wants to meet a nobody. Everyone wants to meet a somebody. I know we've all heard this before, and the thing is that a lot of us would always think when they say that somebody, they're referring to the fact that you must be rich, you must be successful, you must be okay, you must have good cars, you must look nice, and that's what they're referring to. But the honest truth is that you can't be a somebody without knowing yourself. Somebody is the true identification of who you truly are. We work so hard in meeting people and networking, but some of us have never worked to even identify who they are. African entrepreneurs, many of us do not know who we are. And that's why we're busy running up and down. We're running from left to right, just looking for who to connect us, who's going to network us, where we're going to find these people, who's going to bring us to this right person, who's going to open the doors for us. We need that atmosphere of power of association. I'm not saying these things are not right. But the thing is that every successful person can sense substance. And nobody wants to network with an empty body, with an empty soul, with a person who do not even have a true identification of who they are. You see, we don't know who we are, and it's really bringing a lot of us down. Some of us do not even understand the direction in life. They don't even understand the direction in their business. And they've been wondering, I've been trying this, I've been trying that. But have you ever tried to even check yourself and say, who am I? Why was I created? Why am I in this world? What impact am I supposed to make? Once you know yourself and respect yourself and appreciate who you really are, then and only then does the universe begin to recognize you. And then it begins to bring the right people your way. All these people you've been running about that you want to meet, you want to collaborate with, you want to network with, only then would the universe identify you because you have identified yourself. And this is not subject to business alone. Even with your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your best friend, it's only when the universe recognizes you with these right people begin to come your way. You see, tonight, I chose the topic, who am I? Because I'm going to be speaking to us about self-identity. Many people mistake self-identity to self-consciousness, so I would like to explain the difference for you tonight. You see, self-identity is the sum of an individual's knowledge of oneself, while self-consciousness is the awareness of oneself. Many people, in fact, everyone knows they exist, but only a few people know why they exist. You see, with self-consciousness, it brings about awareness. And like I said before, it's the awareness of oneself. That's why some people are more concerned about what they wear, how they look, what they have, and that's how they define themselves. But self-identity is who you are, the reason for your existence. A journalist once asked me, he said, Summy Smart Francis, who is your role model? You know, I laughed when he said that because I now sat down and really thought about that question. And I told him, I said, brother, you know what? I have many people that I admire. I have many people that inspires me. But my role model, to be honest with you, my role model is Summy Smart Francis that I'm yet to become. He was shocked, he was surprised, like, how come? And I broke it down to him. I said, I have a clear picture of Summy Smart Francis. From a very young age of mine, I know who I am. And I have a clear picture of what Summy Smart Francis is going to become. And every day I try to model that clear picture of myself. That clear vision of myself, I try to model every day, everything I do to model that person. To make sure I can become that Summy Smart Francis, because I know his way of life. I know what he drinks, I know what he eats, I know how he wants to look, I know how he wants to be addressed, I know what impact he wants to make on earth, I know all the things he wants to achieve in Africa, I know what he wants to do for the continent. And every day of my life, I find myself modeling that Summy Smart Francis. I'm not saying it's bad to have a role model. It's actually a very good thing. So everybody does not have to follow my own direction. But I want you to understand this very carefully. You see, there is admire, inspire, and there's also role model. Now, you have people that you admire. You can have people that you look at and you really admire them. You love what they do. They look good. Their lifestyle is great. You love their programs. You love their initiative. You admire them. And there are also people that you are inspired by their works. You are inspired by their action. You are inspired by their philanthropy. You are inspired by their character. Because inspiration is encouragement. These are the people that gives you the urge to want to do more. These are the people that gives you the encouragement to actually want to do things that they are doing or even bigger than what they are doing. And then you have role models. People that you want to model their life. You want to live the kind of life they are living. And amazingly for me, I have known myself so much that I want to live that life for the Summy Smart Francis that I'm yet to become. You see, people do not even understand the power of a role model. And that's why it shocks me when people change. Some people just change their role model as if they are changing clothes. And I'm surprised. I'm like, today this is your role model. Tomorrow this is your role model. Next tomorrow this is your role model. The problem is you are confused because you do not know who you are. You don't even know yourself. Because if you know yourself, it won't be hard for you to even identify a role model. Because if you know yourself, it will be easy for you to pair yourself in a direction of a person that is living the kind of life that is aligned to who you are. African entrepreneurs, it is important to be you. And I'm asking you tonight, who are you? Who are you? Because you are only alive when you are alive. When you begin to live in yourself and not somebody else's body. See, a lot of people are existing, but they've transferred their whole entire being into somebody else. They've transferred their entire existence into somebody else. They are not themselves anymore. They've looked at people's lives so much that they have even forgotten about who they are. And this is going to affect the way you relate to people. This is going to affect the way you network. That's why I'm trying to say that even before you network with people, even before you collaborate, even before you partner with people, you need to know who you are. Because by the time you know who you are, you have built confidence. There's a strong character. There's a strong personality that these people are meeting. And those are the kind of people they are ready to meet. Those are the kind of people I want to, and people out there want to network with. People of substance, people of great personality. There is no way on earth you can have a great personality if you don't know who you are. African entrepreneurs, I begin to wonder, and I'm surprised when people do not even know who they are. I'd rather be in control of a plane that is about to crash than be in control of a body that has no self-identity. For some of you who know me well, you will be very familiar with my mantra. Something I say and I've been saying from the early age of my life. I am Summy Smart Francis, and I am nothing without God. This phrase is something I've been saying since the age of 7 or 8, I think. From the early age of my life, I have been saying this phrase because I am very clear of who I am at a very early age. And the earlier you know who you are, African entrepreneurs, the better for you. The earlier you know who you are, the earlier you will know who you want to become or who you are going to become. You see, you need to be very careful when you act protractively out of character. You are you and you must remain you at all times. Because the moment you begin to act continuously like somebody else, speak like somebody else, act like somebody else, dress like somebody else, that moment you have lost yourself. And when you lose yourself, African entrepreneurs, it might be very hard to find it. In some cases, you might never even find yourself again. And how can somebody who doesn't know who he is or who she is, how can that person want to know people? How can that person want to know the right people if you are still struggling to know who you are? African entrepreneurs, I want to share with you some signs. Some signs that shows that you may not know who you are. If any of this resonates with you, then it's better you go back into your shell. Go back to the innermost chambers of your home and lock yourself indoor and find yourself. There are many signs, but I'm going to take a little bit. And if any of these things align with your character or your behavior or your personality, then you need to do some self-check. Number one is you worry so much about your external look. You worry so much about the outer part of you that you forget the inner part of you. You worry so much about how you dress, how you look, how you smell, that you have made it to define yourself. You worry so much about what you have, what car you're driving, what house you're staying in, what building, how your apartment, and you define yourself by these material things. Brothers, sisters, if this is you, then probably you don't know yourself. If you define yourself about your outer look or about things that you have, then you don't know yourself. If you are somebody that everybody's opinion matters, then there's a problem with you. Everybody's opinion. Anybody that brings an opinion, either about you, about something around you, if everybody's opinion counts, and the moment anybody says anything, you are reacting, or you are emotional, or you are broken, or you are crying, or you are sobbing, there is a problem with you. You do not know who you are. African entrepreneurs, if you have never heard yourself speak, there is a big problem with you. You have lost your sense of identity. Some of us, our conscience is dead. We've never heard anything from our inner mind. Even when you want to do something right, wrong, nothing tells you this thing is good. Nothing tells you this thing is right. Nothing is consulting with you from inside of you. There is a problem with you. I've met people who said, I've never heard anything for myself. I'm like, really? Then how do you live as a person if there is no conscience that can speak to you clearly, when you can hear that voice clearly from the inside of you? If you are someone who suffers from inferiority complex, you have lost your sense of identity. Everything is just a complex for you. You are inferior to other people's achievements. You are inferior to other people's success. You are inferior to other people's way of life. You've got a complex around what people are doing around you or what they are achieving around you. There is a problem with you. You do not know yourself at all. You feel insecure, incomplete, unworthy. You withdraw from everyday activities, social activities, business activities, even activities like this where we gather together as entrepreneurs to connect and collaborate. You withdraw. If you are somebody that envies others a lot, every good news becomes bad news to you. Every great news becomes fake news to you. Every success to you is failure. There is a problem with you. My other brother once told me something so profound. He said, and I quote, he said to me, Summy, everyone has jealousy inside their DNA. It is inborn. It is left for you to either activate or deactivate it. Now, let me tell you this. He gave me that quote, but I'm going to translate this to you now. It is only people with a true self-identity that can deactivate their jealousy. Every other person, when something is happening great around them, even for people close to them, their neighbor, their brother, their family member, even their own spouse, that jealousy is activated. And it is impossible for them to even deactivate it because they have no self-identity. You do not know who you are. If you are someone that compares yourself to others, every small thing anyone does around you, you are comparing yourself. Every time you're always comparing yourself, you're comparing your business, you're comparing your achievements, you're comparing your way of life. Some people even compare their own children. They compare their own spouse. They compare their boyfriend, they compare their girlfriend. They compare their business. You have lost your sense of identity. You do not know who you are. If you have a low self-esteem, some people cannot even carry themselves. Even when you tell them you look good today, even when you tell them you are happy today, your countenance is always low. You bring yourself down every time. You look at the mirror and the first thing you say is, I am ugly. You look at the mirror and the first thing you say is, I am fat. You look at the mirror and the first thing you say is, I am dumb. You look at the mirror and the first thing you say is, I don't even know what I'm going to do today. You look at the mirror and you say, I don't know what is happening to my life. You look at the mirror and you say, it's over with me. You confess negative statements about yourself. Then you have lost your self-identity. Who are you? I'm asking you this evening. Who are you, African entrepreneurs? Because you need to know who you are before you can even know anything in life. Before you can even know your business. Before you can know your customers, before you can know your partners, before you can know your investors, and before you can network with the right people. If you are somebody who don't appreciate yourself, you don't appreciate anything about you, you see nothing good happening to you, you appreciate nothing good going on for you, nothing is going well for you, you never appreciate anything, you've never looked back and be grateful for all the things that has happened to you in your life. There are some people that have never been grateful before. They still believe that everything that has happened to them are bad things. Nothing good has ever happened. Is it possible? You are alive today, you are listening to the sound of my voice and you have nothing to be grateful about? Then you don't know who you are. African entrepreneurs, I'm very passionate about this topic because I know the power of self-identity. I know the power of believing in oneself. And I know the power of finding oneself at a very early stage. It is impossible to carry yourself around without knowing who you are. It is impossible to actually achieve anything without knowing who you are. It is impossible to be a success without knowing who you are. Find yourself, African entrepreneurs. Understand your purpose of creation. Understand your purpose of existence. And live your life in that manner. No matter how, you can never be anybody else. Never. You can never be anybody else but you. And only when you are you, can you really achieve success. It's so painful that some of us are self-diagnose ourselves as failures. We don't believe in who we are. We don't understand who we are anymore. It's shocking when I see people like this running businesses. It's shocking when I see people like this with great and amazing ideas. I think the first thing you must do, even before a business plan, is finding yourself. Finding yourself. Who are you? Who are you? Is my cry to all African entrepreneurs tonight. And as I end my session tonight, I want you all to remember this. You are like some other people, but you are never like no other person. And you will never be. Everyone has their own identity. Find yourself, African entrepreneurs. Understand your purpose of creation. Understand your purpose of existence. African entrepreneurs, from the bottom of my heart, I am pleading with every one of you, go back in there and find yourself. If there's any of the things I've listed that seems or sounds familiar to your personality, go back and find yourself. Because you are greater than who you think you are, and you need to live to that potential. You need to even live far above that potential of yourself. You need to achieve who you are. And the only way to achieve that is for you to be able to answer this question when Esther asks you, who are you?
Wow. I can never get used to the president's impactful messages.
That was gold. That was like finding gold or something extremely precious and rare. And to build in yourself and teach young people to do that, it really cares for the inner person.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I feel like he was actually talking to me. Because I've never actually believed in myself. Even people around me, they'll be like, oh, you can do this, you are that. But I've never ever. When President was talking, I had to pull out my pen and my jotter and I wrote down, who am I? Because I really need to find myself. This is what, I'm getting so emotional right now. I need to find my self-identity because I really do not know who I am. I feel like he's talking to me personally and I'm blessed to be here today. Thank you very much.
I'm from Tanzania, and through the president's speech, actually it has been a good reminder for me that goes to the perspective of a role model and who actually should be a role model.
I've known Summy for a very long time, and I'm so proud because a lot of the things people talk about trying to create change across our country, across the continent, he actually goes out and does it. I just want to say kudos to the whole team of A.Y.E and Summy Francis. I'm very honored to be here today to hear this kind of speech. It has touched me so much, and he's delivered what we've been learning for many years and reading Prosperity, Bible, and all the books. Thank you so much.
I'm in North Carolina. Sometimes the pure, powerful, real is right in front of our eyes. And for us to be here listening to this today, it's not normal. It's something that we keep our eyes and ears open for. I see it as abnormal and unique, but beautifully right in front of our eyes and in our ears. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So thank you all very much.